Right. Let me, that was weird. Gotta sit back. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. Not sure why that first one shut off. Why is it every time I talk about the NBA, all of a sudden you want to act up? Come on, computer, I need you to do better than this. Like, I need you, man. I need your help. Don't do me like this. Alright, we seem to be good, I think. This is weird. Okay, hopefully this stays. Not exactly sure what corrupted the first one, but hopefully this stays. Yes, good. If it cuts off again, I'm gonna just chill out and call it a day. Wait, did I use the old one that I have? Because I have two set up. Ah, crap. It was supposed to be the NBA. You know what? I'm not finna shut this off, and I don't know what's finna... I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna just leave it. You know, I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna just leave it. It's gonna be weird. But I'm gonna speak what I gotta speak first. And then I can delve into that aspect for the most part. Unfortunately. But I do need to get my health up first. I need the health first. Ah, get away from me. Get away from me. I just wanted to go and get some coffee. Or a nice latte. Whatever the hell it's called. Oh, I'm good to go at that. Okay, yeah, we good. We good. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Get away from me. Okay. Right. Hopefully this is consistent enough. Now I'm still rusty here. It's taking me a while to get back into that level, that form. And of course, you always have issues whenever it comes to situations like this. So let's get it on. What am I talking about? Well, welcome everybody to, what am I gonna call this now? I feel like I gotta have a title for what this is gonna be, because if I'm gonna be streaming a lot more, I gotta have a title. Not to mention, I gotta start doing this a bit earlier. But, I mean, if I'm not home, it's very difficult for me to do something earlier if I'm not here. Then again, 11 o'clock at night, not exactly sure I want to be streaming at 11 o'clock at night. It's like a late night stream, which I could easily probably, you know what, I could have done this at 8. I gotta start setting up schedules, you know. Your boy be slacking when it comes to setting up schedules for live streams. So I gotta get that done for the most part. But yeah, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Trying to play this game here. And a lot of stuff happening around sports for the most part. A lot of stuff happening both with the NBA, as we said, with the Eastern Conference getting competitive for the most part. Damn bird, come on! There you go. Wait, should have never taken that. A lot of things getting competitive for the most part in terms of free agency and everything, you know. Speaking of free agency, Ravens, get on that. Like I said yesterday, Bobby Wagner is going to be a talking point this week for the Ravens. From what I've heard, damn it, should have kept this key. Okay, right there, that's fine. From what I've heard, they do have, what's it called? They have something on the table. They have something on the table, at least a deal on the table for the man. But we'll see if it comes into fruition for the most part. However, they've got a lot of moves to make, a lot of situations to deal with, and it just depends. It just depends. There's a lot that the Ravens need to do for the most part in terms of, well, I wouldn't say free agency, but in terms of preparing for the season, they got things to do. That press conference today by John Harbaugh was interesting, though. I will say that. It was very interesting. For one, Lamar Jackson's contract being mentioned, or at least them trying to sign him to a long-term deal. Like John said, for the most part, it seems like they're just waiting on Lamar. Okay, it's a situation where they're waiting on Lamar. It's up to him. Whenever he's ready is whenever they'll be ready. So, like DeCosta said, it is really just up to Lamar in terms of him being ready or him wanting to. Because, you know, when they seem to talk to him, it's not like they're consistently speaking about any long-term deals. It just seems like Lamar is kind of just doing... It seems like Lamar is just doing his own thing right now, not worried about a long-term deal. But that is something they definitely plan to do. They've spoken on... John Harbaugh also spoke on the Bobby Wagner situation. Interesting enough, they spoke on the whole situation regarding free agency. And he talked about the Ravens probably going to move forward with having Makari be their center, which is somewhat of a concern, but I understand where they're coming from. So it seems like they're going to move on with that. Instead of picking up a center in free agency, they may either draft one, or they're probably just going to stick with Makari, but I don't think that's going to be the long-term case. You want to have depth at that position because, you know, if Makari suffers an injury, you got to have somebody else that can take that role. So, Ravens got a lot of moves they got to make, a lot of decisions got to make, but in terms of the Lamar contract, because that is the number one talking point with the Ravens right now, in terms of the Lamar contract, it seems like it's going to be a long-term process because it just depends on whenever Lamar is specifically ready to talk about it. Whenever he's ready to discuss, they'll be there to discuss with him. Whenever he's, you know, ready to try and negotiate any deal, it'll be that. So it really is a Lamar situation. It's up to him for the most part. And we'll kind of just see where that goes. You know, I think at this point, the Ravens are just going to be in the situation. When it comes to this contract, whenever it happens. They're not going to trip over it. I was one to believe that the Ravens would be able to get a long-term deal done in with Lamar Jackson before the season started. But judging by how things are going, now granted, it's only March. You know, March is coming to an end. Season doesn't start till September, so they still have plenty of time. But in terms of a contract happening anytime soon, I don't think that's the case. And consider the fact that they're going by Lamar's pace, it really just depends on him. Why are they booking Rico Chet as a week champion? I don't know. WWE does what the WWE does. But yeah, Lamar's contract for the most part, it really just depends on whenever he's ready. Right now, he seems to be focused. You know, we're all seeing the videos from Lamar, him just working out, working on improving his games, or his games, working on improving his game, his ability to throw the football, his ability to read. You know, just the same old thing he does. He always works on every aspect of his game in the offseason, and it's nice to see him working alongside some of his receivers. I know he had Bateman out there, which is definitely a positive sign, trying to build that chemistry with them. And we know Lamar is going to be ready for the season. So it just depends. It just depends. There's a lot going on right now with the Ravens. I just fell into that pit. Excuse me. there's a lot going on with the Ravens right now. And I feel like it all just depends on what direction they choose to go in with the draft. Because it seems like when it comes to free agency, the only aspect, the only aspect they seem to have at this point is, I guess, their pass rush. They don't seem to be looking to pick up a center. They're going to rock with McCarry, and they're looking to potentially get Bobby Wagner. And other than that, I don't know what else the Ravens might do in free agency. You know, the Ravens aren't a team that does much in free agency, so we can't expect much from them. But, you know, it might be a situation where they potentially do get Bobby Wagner, and that might just be the end of it for the Ravens. Maybe they focus on re-signing or some of the people that they already have that are free agents, because we do have a couple free agents for the Ravens, and they might look to bring them back. Like Calais Campbell is definitely one of the individuals the Ravens want to bring back. Justin Houston is also another they're considering. So honestly, if they can get Bobby Wagner, I don't know if they're going to make another move. I don't see this team picking up a receiver. I don't see them going in that direction for the most part. They might just choose to just get Bobby Wagner as a huge deal, and then choose to try to retain some of their guys that are free agents and see how that goes. Am I here already? Oh, damn, it's Necker Scott. Do you think LJ is waiting for Burrow and Herbert's signings maybe? They're not going to sign for a while. I mean, again, it depends on if the Bengals want to give him a deal now. With Burrow, he already took your team to the Super Bowl, or he helped contribute to taking your team to the Super Bowl. So I could see them making a deal for him now if they want to. But both Burrow and Herbert are heading into their third years. So, I mean, you can't expect them to get a signing in year 3. So I'm not exactly sure I don't think Lamar's really waiting for anybody to specifically get a signing. He's kind of just looking at how the market's going and seeing, damn nigga, stop kneeing me in the damn face. But, yeah, I just think right now he's just looking to, just seems like he's kind of just doing his own thing, focused on trying to win the championship. And then whatever happens then just happens. Well, nigga Scott is kicking the crap out of me. Your fireballs. Wow. Okay, yeah, it's definitely been a while since I played. Bro. He keeps doing the same moves. Get that nonsense out of here. The same move like 3 straight times. But, yeah, I don't think he's waiting on a specific person signing. I think it's just a situation where he's kind of just looking at the market in terms of how it's going and then just assessing it from there. What do you think Lamar's biggest goal is right now? To win the Super Bowl. It's always been his goal to win the Super Bowl. He's not necessarily focused on anything else right now besides winning a championship. So that would be his biggest goal right now, winning a Super Bowl. He's not focused on the contract. Every time they seem to bring the contract up to him, he's not really focused on that. He's focused on winning a championship. So it seems like he's in a situation where he wants to bet on himself. Maybe he's thinking he can bet on himself, win this team a Super Bowl, and then get a huge mega contract. I don't know. But his biggest goal right now is to win the Super Bowl. That's been his goal since day one. Will this be nightly? I don't know. I mean, I would try to do it earlier, but since I go to work, I'm not here during the day. You know, I work during the day and I'm here during the evenings. I'll definitely say I'll try to get it earlier. Like, this probably should be an 8 o'clock thing as opposed to, or 8 or 9 o'clock thing as opposed to it being an 11 o'clock thing. Because I feel like the earlier I can do this, the earlier I can just, you know, chill out for the rest of the night. So it might be a situation where I'll come from work and then immediately hit the live stream and just be like, hey, I'll chill for an hour or two, and then I can just enjoy the rest of my night. But, yeah, Lamar's focus from day one has always been to, win the Super Bowl. So it's not going to change anytime soon. Like, it's not like he's going to stop thinking about trying to win a championship. From day one, from the moment he was drafted, hell, on draft day, he's the guy that came up there and said, they're going to get everything out of me. They're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe that. He said that. That's what he said. So he already set the precedent for himself. Will the Ravens get Bobby Wagner? Having a clue in hell. They offered him a deal. Looks like they have a lot of interest. And they made a hell of a case. You know, they told him he'd be coming to a great defense that's got a lot of great pieces, and he can help add to his legacy by being on a defense like this. Oh, God, what am I doing? I'm trying to get to the final level, and I'm doing this. But yeah, he's kind of just focusing on winning a championship. So that's just what Lamar's mindset is right now. What are your predictions for the direction of the offense this upcoming season? Haven't a clue in hell. I haven't a clue in hell. I understand they did add another quarterbacks coach. I cannot recall his name right now. So if anyone, because they did have the conference today, I had it in my mind earlier. I cannot recall the name right now, but they have added another quarterbacks coach, so to work alongside Urban. So we'll see how that goes. But in terms of the direction of the offense this upcoming season, I don't know. I don't trust Greg Roman's system, so I have no clue. If Greg Roman's here next year, I expect a lot of the same situations. They'll try to make it balanced, but under Greg Roman, I just can't sit back and trust it. I'm serious. I just don't know what direction they're going to go. I would assume it's going to be a similar direction to what they had last year, but this time they'll have the talent they had. So I don't think Greg Roman's going to change up his system. I'm going to be dead serious. The system that Greg Roman was running last year, I do not think he's going to change it up. I think he's going to run that same system this year because he had guys he already planned to run that. He already had J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards in mind when he came up with this same scheme he's been running. So whatever the hell he was planning to run in 2021, he's just going to retool and reuse in 2022. We're not going to see a major change with the system. If Greg Roman is still here come play time in the regular season, it's going to be the same system they were running in 2021. Only difference is now he'll have the players he wanted to, so we'll see where it goes. But other than that, I don't really see much of a difference. I don't think the direction of the offense is going to be vastly different. You know, they're not going to all of a sudden turn into some huge passing team under Greg Roman. That's not going to happen. It's never been that way under Greg Roman. It's never going to be that way. They may try to stay away from Lamar running as much because now with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards healthy again, he doesn't have to do that. Why am I on the wrong level? Well, I'm just screwing this up right now. I'm supposed to go to the last level. But, yeah, I don't think the offense is going to really change that much. I'm going to be honest. I think it's going to be similar to what it was last year. Only difference is, yo, Shocking, what's going on, man? How you doing? I think the only difference is that it's going to be the players that Greg Roman intended it to be. You know, he intended the run game to be dictated by Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. It's going to be dictated by Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins when they get back this year. You know, instead of having frickin' Devontae Freeman and Le'Veon Bell and Latavius Murray, you're going to have the guys you wanted there for the most part. Get out of here. There we go. I'm doing good, man. Y'all hate on Roman too much. No, I've expressed this right now. I've seen this man's work since his time in San Francisco. I've seen this man's work in Buffalo. I've talked to so many Niner fans, so many Bills fans. We're not saying he is a terrible offensive coordinator. What we're saying is the system he runs is predictable. Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, how many offensive coordinators have you seen get legit segments on national TV where they're actually going in and breaking down the system and showing how it's the exact same system he was running a decade ago? I'm not the type of person that's going to blame Greg Roman for everything, but I've been very adamant about it. I don't hate Greg Roman. I just believe his system, especially with the era of football we're playing, his system is just not going to work. We're not going to get a champ. We're not going to get to the Super Bowl under Greg Roman's system. It's not going to happen. Unless we want to just sit back and try to, oh my God. Unless you want to sit back and ride the coattails of Lamar and just 3 times I fall there and just assume Lamar is just going to take the team to the promised land because we just got the talent. By all means, sure. He's had regular season success. Yeah, I mean, his system's going to work in regular season. Wow. His system's obviously going to work in the regular season. His system is able to garner a lot of stats. But when it comes to making decisions in key situations and making adjustments, he's had trouble doing that. Not to mention, when you have a predictable system that people, to the point where people can literally call out your plays, and you have not just the fans, but you have former players, and hell, even current players in some cases, calling out your system, at some point, you got to take a look at it and say, you know, maybe we got to have a conversation about it. Because I'm just saying, you're not going to sit back and, my God, get away from me. Both y'all need to piss off. But that's just my whole sentiment about it. Like, I'm not saying Greg Roman's a bad offensive coordinator, and I've never been one to blame him for everything that goes wrong in the offense. but his system is predictable. It's not going to change. He's not going to improve all of a sudden and become this passing guru. It's not going to happen. The same passing issues he had in 2012 is the same passing issues he has right now in 2021. Okay, it's not going to change. And when I'm seeing all these offenses do what they're doing, and I'm seeing how our system's working and how it's very limited, it's the same old story, and the system hasn't changed at all since he's been here. Yeah, I'm going to have a problem because you got to update your resume if you're a coach. You got to update your resume. And he hasn't really updated his resume. You still got people that talk about the nonsense he was pulling in 2012, and they can compare it to what he's doing now. Wow, Gideon is going to kick the crap out of me. This is the worst I've ever done. It's very difficult to commentate and try to talk and play games at the same time. Very difficult. I got to give credit to those people that are able to do that consistently and actually do well in the game. Then again, I'm looking at comments, so it's very hard to focus on the game and then look at comments. But yeah, that's just how it is. That's just my opinion on the whole Greg Roman situation. Get that nonsense out of here. Let's go. Gideon's going to kick the crap out of me, man. How are you enjoying your 328 day? I know we're making the jokes about the Falcons. I mean, my day was okay, but I'm not really sitting back and thinking that it's a special day. I mean, I guess this is a special day to Falcons and Patriots fans, but to me, this doesn't affect me. My team didn't blow. Oh, Gideon is going to kick the crap out of me. My team didn't blow that lead. Oh, God. No, invincible mode. Oh, God. But they need to loosen the reins and allow LJ to audible and continue. We've said this for a while now. They seem to continue to stay with the same mindset. Bro, our old David Culley, our former passing coordinator, spoke on how this offense restricts Lamar and how they need to open it up and allow LJ to be LJ. They have chosen to still do the same thing. And again, it's very difficult to assess it because I have no idea how this would have worked out. In my honest opinion, we have no idea how this would have worked out had we not suffered all those injuries. So that becomes very difficult. And in terms of Lamar pulling audibles at the line of scrimmage, it'd be nice for them to be able to do it. Unfortunately, they can't do it because they waste too much time getting set that by the time Lamar's ready to snap the ball, there's only 3 seconds left and he has to get it off quick. Greg Roman's taking too long to get the plays down to the huddle, and Lamar is taking too long to get them out of the huddle. It shouldn't take this long. So if you want to be able to set up audibles, you got to have time on the play clock to be able to do that. Lamar has not had that time. So the first thing they got to get together for the most part is that they got to be able to I'm going to hit him with this. There we go. I'm going to finish him with this. I don't care. I'm going to finish him with this. Oh, he's in invincible mode. He's in invincible mode. But yeah, they have to be able to work on some of these other aspects here. Because if they don't do that, and if they don't fix that issue they're having with the play clock and getting set, then nothing you can do in terms of trying to set up audibles. It's not going to be able to happen. I agree on time management needs work. Yeah, time management has always been an issue for Greg Roman. This is nothing new. Go back to his time in San Francisco. Go back to his time in Buffalo. His offenses take way too long to get set. Like, it's always been a problem there. Wow, I just fell in the same place twice. Okay, it's been a long time since I've played these levels. So I can definitely tell. I don't remember the scale. Yeah, it's been a long time. Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that. My God, somebody help me. I'm dying out here. Holy. Gideon's going to kick the crap out of me. How long is this staircase? It has definitely been... Please don't forget the sword. Oh my God, if I forget the sword, it's going to be a problem. But yeah, the time management has always been a problem when it comes to Greg Roman-led teams. This is nothing new. It's always been an issue, and it's probably going to continue to be an issue. You know, nothing's really going to change in that aspect. Please, for the love of God, pick up the sword. There we go. There we go. If I don't have that sword, I'm not beating this guy. But yeah, time management needs work. I think coaching needs work. No more excuses for Ronnie Stanley. If he misses half of the regular games beginning of... Okay, no more excuses. First off, You cannot dictate how long it takes for an injury to heal. There's no an excuse thing. It's different if he's like not playing up to standard, but we're talking about this dude staying healthy. This is an injury thing. You can't put a timetable on an injury and assume that everything's going to be 100% afterwards. That's not how things work. It's injury. He wasn't healthy enough. Now, you could sit back and say, okay, well, he's got to be healthy enough to be able to do what he's got to do. But at the same time, you got to understand it's an injury, man. And it was a bad one. It was a really bad injury at the same time. So, like, come on, Scott, pick up the sword. Scott, pick up the sword! Oh, God. Why? Dude, that sword drops, I'm screwed. But, yeah, it's an injury-based thing. You can't sit back and be like, oh, yeah, well, for the most part, you know, there's no more excuses for him if he's not healthy. It's injuries, man. Injuries happen in the game, you know. You just take it at face value. There we go. You just take it at face value for the most part, and you just hope that he comes back healthy. Now, if he's healthy and he's not performing, that's a different conversation. But if he's not healthy, you can't be like, there's no more excuses for Stanley if he misses half of the season. No, injuries happen. That's like saying there's no more excuses for Sammy Watkins if he can't play all 16 games. There are injuries, man. This isn't about playing up to your potential, playing up to your level, or just not living up to what you're doing. This is about injuries, man. You can't control injuries. Injuries are a part of the game. Injury recoveries are not always guaranteed. Don't heal right, additional surgeries, etc. Yeah, you never know how a person's going to be coming off of an injury. Like Odell right now just tore his ACL once again. We don't know how he's going to look coming off of another surgery. 2 years now. Again, all injuries are different in terms of how they heal up. You don't know how the recovery process is going to go. Maybe the surgery didn't take care of everything fully. You know, maybe the surgery wasn't perfect in terms of how it took care of it. Maybe there was a mess up there. Maybe it just didn't heal right. You know, certain things happen. Injuries are always an aspect that you cannot be able to properly address or properly assess when it comes to how they're supposed to perform. Just like Klay Thompson. Yeah, Klay hasn't exactly looked like the Klay Thompson of before, both offensively and defensively since he's come back. And he was out for 2 years because he suffered back-to-back injuries. Another person you can mention is John Wall. You just don't know how these situations are going to go. So I can't be like, okay, Stanley, if you don't stay healthy this year, there's no excuse for that. Like, nah, injuries are always a part of the game, and it's always unpredictable as to how they're going to go. It's just something you have to deal with. Oh, I'm going to lose a life here. I know I'm going to lose a life here. I don't have the talent to be able to beat these guys right now. It's been a while. Oh, come on. No, I'm getting jumped. I'm getting jumped. Come here. Oh, okay, so that everyone's just blocking now, huh? So this is Street Fighter. Y'all just blocking right now. Y'all ain't want to fight? Okay. But yeah, Stanley's situation, it is what it is when it comes to injury. You just have to sit back and accept it for what it is. And whatever comes of it is whatever happens. Jesus, get out of here. Whatever happens is whatever happens, man. Oh, God, I forgot that happens. Patriots didn't make any moves except Malcolm Butler. I have no clue what the Patriots are doing. I don't know. Patriots seem fine with where they at right now. Doesn't look like they're gonna be making any big splash plays like last offseason. Last offseason they were picking up everybody. Like, they were signing everybody off the street. This offseason, it seems like, okay, well, you got this young quarterback in Mac Jones. You were able to get to the playoffs. Now it's all about him developing into where we want him to develop. Let's see where that goes. And, you know, that's just how the situation is going to be for the most part. And not necessarily worried about trying to compete now. I mean, obviously they would want to compete now, but when you get a young quarterback that comes in his rookie year and helps the team get to the playoffs, you know, what else can you really say? I am getting smoked right now. So the Patriots not making much moves. I'm not surprised by that. Like, I'm really not surprised by that. I'm not saying it was something I expected, but I wasn't surprised about that. A lot of teams have been making moves, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, okay, you know, Jesus, I'm getting blasted everywhere. Can I please? Oh my God. Okay, this is... Alright, I'm ready to lose a life. I'm ready to lose a life. It's about time. It's about time. I should have came in 100% health. Yeah, I'm dead. Straight up dead. Fantastic. But yeah, I would definitely say Patriots aren't really making a lot of moves. I haven't heard much noise from them, which is interesting because the whole state of the AFC right now is in its most competitive aspect. So you would assume you would want to do something. Patriots don't have offensive coordinator. Who's going new offensive coordinator or Bill Belichick? Okay, who's going to be the new offensive coordinator, or is Bill Belichick going to call plays? I have no idea who their new offensive coordinator is going to be. They're going to have to pick up somebody. There's guys out there they can pick up. And Bill's not exactly the most offensive-minded guy. Not saying he can't do it, but Bill isn't the most offensive-minded guy. So I don't think he'd be calling plays on the offense. He could if he wanted to, but I don't think that's what Bill wants to do. Like, if we're talking defensively, that's probably where he wants to be, but, But, you see the conveyor belt and you just keep pissing me off. There we go. ESPN really be forgetting Lamar, top AFC quarterback. Always talking about Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Burrow, Wilson, Patrick. I mean, nothing's new with that situation. They've always been doing that. So, I mean, it's not a shock to see that they're not talking about Lamar. At this point, I got to make a video about that. I might do that tomorrow or sometime this week. But Ravens flock, we have got to come to the acceptance. We keep talking about this, but we have got to come to the acceptance. Okay, we got to get to the point where we accept that this is just how it is. Lamar is one of the most was one of the most controversial quarterbacks in the league. Not because he's done anything bad, but because people still don't know how to assess him. They still will sit back and say he can't throw, despite the fact that he's been an MVP, despite the fact that he's been an All-Pro, despite the fact that he's taken the team to the playoffs multiple times. Despite all he's accomplished, people will still sit back and say he cannot throw. It's a topic, and they'll still find ways to disrespect him. These ladies are... Let me not say what I was going to say. Wasn't going to be a bad thing, but I'm not trying to wild out right now. It's a chill night. But they'll still sit back and say that he can't throw, and they'll say all this controversial stuff. So we as a fan base have got to get to the point where, or better yet, we as the NFL fans, not even just Ravens fans, but we as a fan base as a whole in terms of NFL fans, have just got to come to accept that at this point, with Lamar heading into year 5, you see everything you need to see from Lamar. Of course, improvements, all this stuff, yeah, but by year 5, you know how you feel about a quarterback. Either you believe in Lamar Jackson or you don't. There's probably a few section of people that are willing to change their mind. Like maybe they don't believe in him, but they believe if he improves in this, and that aspect, and he takes the team far, then boom, we'll believe in him. But at this point, entering year 5, either you believe in Lamar Jackson or you don't. Either you believe in his ability or you don't. Either you believe in his play style or you don't. There's no in between for the most part. You got a few section of people that are flexible and willing to change, but either you believe in him at this point or you don't believe in him. Okay, so this whole talk about the media not talking about him or not giving their respect, the media's already addressed this. They already know where they stand with Lamar Jackson, okay? They understand the talent, they understand what he brings, but they don't believe he's better than the guys they consistently name, okay? It took Josh Allen 1 year, one great year, for people to automatically put him above Lamar. That's just how it is. Burrow, automatically over Lamar because of his playoff run. Herbert, automatically put over Lamar because of his throwing talent. That's just how it is. Watson, getting back into... He hasn't played in a year. Automatically better than Lamar. You got to understand where Lamar stands at this point. Just understand where he stands at this point. Either you believe in him or you're not. Or you don't. You believe in his ability to throw or you don't believe in his ability. You believe in his play style or you don't. That's just how it is when it comes to Lamar. That's just the aspect that's there at this point. So, we continue to talk about the disrespect and all this other stuff, but at this point, I just think it's just people's personal opinions about it, and it's not going to change. I see a lot of people posting on Twitter about the amount of disrespect Lamar gets, and hell, even in the past, I've done it, but I don't. But when I was doing it at the time, that was definitely because he was a young quarterback. He's going into year 5. What game is this? This game is called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's an old beat 'em up game. Well, it was released in 2011, but it is what it is. So at this point, if you believe in his play style, you believe in his play style. If you don't believe in his play style, you don't believe in his play style. It's year 5. When I was making comments during his MVP year and even in 2020 in some case about the disrespect and stuff, That was back when he was young. He's entering his 5th season. I've always said it takes 3 to 5 years for a quarterback to be able to reach their potential, or at least develop to where they need to be. And Lamar is entering year 5. Oh, what's going on, gentlemen? It's my guys over. Shout out to the homies at the lunch break hot take. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? We just talking Ravens here. You know, we chilling out, playing the game, talking Ravens. You know how we do here. But back to what I was, appreciate you guys stopping by. But in terms of the Lamar Jackson take, it's year 5, okay? People already know where they stand when it comes to Lamar Jackson. Either you believe in his ability or you don't. That's just it. So, you know, Ravens flock at some point has to come to a point where you just understand that whether or not you believe he's getting disrespected, some people just are not going to believe in his ability to throw the football. And I've always said part of that has to deal with how the Ravens choose to use him. When you're using him in your run game and he influences and impacts your run game so much, and then you watch Greg Roman's system and the passing game isn't as effective as you want it to be, and you compare their passing game to other passing games in the league, what else are you going to think? You watch the Ravens prioritize Lamar's leg over his arm, and then you expect me to believe that he can do all the things you said he can do? We see the talent, we see the ability, but when you see his own franchise focus more on the run game and more on utilizing his legs as opposed to utilizing his arm, it's not difficult to see why a lot of people would just sit back and say, yeah, I don't believe he can throw. I don't believe he can throw. Because you're not showing me that you trust him. Why do you think we keep talking about getting rid of Greg Roman? Why do you think we keep talking about improving the pass game? Why do you keep talking about getting Lamar a number 1 receiver? A lot of us that believe in his ability are saying that because we want Lamar to show the abilities we believe he can do. And the Ravens aren't putting him in a situation where he can show that. So whenever I see people saying he can't throw, I can't blame them. When your own franchise is not giving you the tools to really succeed in that aspect, and you're under a system that's more focused on utilizing your legs than your arm, how can the outside perspective that's not part of your fan base sit back here and say, yeah, I mean, the Ravens seem to be utilizing his legs more than his arm, and they seem to be running a run-first system as opposed to, you know, throwing the football as much. Now, especially considering the fact that Lamar's not a run-first quarterback, but you put him in a system that's more focused on the run as opposed to the pass, you see people from the outside looking at this. What else are they supposed to assume? Like, they're not part of the Ravens fan base that sees this. If you're let's say, if you're a Seahawks fan and you don't watch many Ravens game, you come up, you watch a Ravens game, and you see that they consistently utilize Lamar in the run game, they're utilizing his legs, you look around with the weapons he has, and you look at the system he's in, yeah, I can see why people would come to the conclusion that he can't throw. They haven't put the proper tools for him to succeed, and yes, I'm not saying that Lamar has not had talent to throw to. Especially last year, he definitely did. But it's proven talent that he's not had. They have not surrounded him with proven talent. You've surrounded him with potential talent. There is a difference between proven talent and potential talent. Hollywood Brown is potential talent. Rashad Bateman is potential talent. A guy like Devontae Adams is proven talent. You've not surrounded him with proven talent. Guys that don't need to go out and do what they gotta do, or I gotta develop this and try to develop that in order to get theirs. No, guys that can go out there and just ball on any situation. Any situation. Rashad is not potential. He is the guy. Well, again, he's still potential because he hasn't proven himself. I'm not saying he can't be the guy, but I'm not saying like Rashad Bateman can't be the guy. He's already looked like he can take that number 1 spot, but he hasn't shown it yet to the league. So until you show it to the league, you are seen as potential. We know what talent he brings to the table, but he hasn't shown it to the league. And until you show it to the league and establish yourself as a receiver, you're going to be considered potential talent, especially since he was drafted last year. So yeah, he is potential talent. That's just how it is. Rashad only has 500 yards and 1 touchdown in his career. At this point, he's just potential. Exactly. We know what Rashad, in terms of what his skill set, what he's presented to us, and what we've seen from him as a talent perspective, yeah, a lot of people believe he can be the guy. He can be that number 1 receiver. But in terms of production and what he's shown to the league and what he's put out there, right now he is viewed as potential. That doesn't mean that he can't turn into that proven guy, but you will always be seen as potential as a player until you prove yourself in the league. That's how it's always been. There are potential players and there are proven players. There are potential receivers and there's proven receivers. The guys we have on our roster are potential receivers, at least with the young guys. Proven receiver is Sammy Watkins, but he's also an injury-riddled receiver. So he's injury-prone. You can't rely on him to play the entire season. So he's proven himself to be, a veteran in this league and can be productive on a good team. But, that's not somebody that you can rely on for a 17-game season. There's a huge difference between potential and proven. Like I said, Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman, that is potential receivers right there. Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, those are proven receivers. There's a huge difference between the two. So the biggest issue a lot of Ravens fans have had is the fact that we've seen the Ravens surround him with potential receivers, but they haven't surrounded him with proven receivers. And we're not asking for a lot. We just want one legit, proven number one receiver. That's it. We're fine with the potential. We like the potential we see. But can you get a proven receiver here? That's the difference. And a lot of us have tried to specify this. And I see a lot of people taking a lot of heat and getting hate from the fan base because you're acting like DeCosta doesn't surround them with talent. And I see my homeboys here at Lunch Break Hot Take. They get a lot of heat for that whenever they talk about the Ravens not surrounding him with the proper receivers. Everyone just assumes that those guys are out there saying DeCosta's not surrounding him with talent. No, my homies aren't saying that. They're saying that they have not provided him with proven talent. Proven talent. Simple that. We need a proven receiver to add to this squad. DeCosta, in terms of his talent in the drafting, he's got it done. No one can sit back and say he hasn't done his best to surround Lamar with talent draft-wise. In terms of potential, he has surrounded Lamar with a lot of potential on that offense. But he's not done a good job in surrounding him with proven talent on that offense. And that is the main issue. Love the work you do with low subs, bro. Hope you come up. You'll be recognized as one of the known Raven YouTubers. I appreciate it, man. I'm just out here grinding. That's just what we do. I'll say Marquis Brown is potential. Yeah, he's potential. We know he could be productive, but he has not proven himself, and he's not established himself as one of those top receiver guys in this league yet. He hasn't established himself, but he could. He has an opportunity to do so. A quick question. Which team you think is going to pop off this upcoming season? Broncos. I think the Broncos are one of those teams that's going to pop off. I've talked about the Broncos roster and what they have, and the biggest difference is they just needed a legit quarterback. You got Russell Wilson now. They partner up with one of the best. I'm not going to say they're the best, but they're definitely one of the best defenses in the league, and you have talent on that roster, especially offensively. Yeah, you get a Russell Wilson to Denver, it's going to be a team that's going to pop off. So I would definitely look at Denver as one of those teams. John Harbaugh better not be soft this year or he could get fired if we miss the playoffs again. I'm not sure they'll fire Harbaugh if we miss the playoffs again. If it's a situation where injuries impact it. If injuries don't impact it, it's different. But if injuries do, he won't lose his job. John was already in the hot seat in 2018 until Flacco went down. Yeah, he was definitely in the hot seat. Lamar definitely played a huge role in saving his job. But at this point, if injuries play a role in this upcoming season, John's not losing his job. Do you have proven wide receiver money? That's a great question. Do we have proven wide receiver money? We tend to have money whenever we need to add defensive players, yet with offensive players, we never seem to have the type of money there for that. Every time we want to get a defensive player, let's go get that cornerback. Let's go get that linebacker. Let's go get that pass rusher. We tend to have those. We have the money for that, but all of a sudden people are like, go get a proven receiver. Well, you see, it's all about the money, We don't really got the money for that. You want to pay that much for a proven receiver? Are you sure? Look at the potential we have here. It's always that. I'm just saying, it's always that. Why would you need to go out and pick up a pass rusher? Why would we get Zadarius Smith? I'm just saying, with that type of mindset, why try to go and get Zadarius Smith? You got this proven talent. Well, not this proven, but this potential talent in Odafe Owe, so you don't really need to invest there, Why add another linebacker? You've got potential talent here with Malik Harrison and Patrick Queen. Why would you need to add a linebacker? You got potential talent here. Do you really need to add proven talent? You can use the same argument there. When it comes to defense, it's always about let's add. But all of a sudden, someone wants to add a proven receiver for a weapon. It's like, well, you really want to put the money out for that when you got all this potential on offense? Potential's always mentioned on offense. Never seems to be mentioned when it comes to our young defensive players. I'm just saying. Everyone wants to get Bobby Wagner, and I want to get Bobby Wagner too. I'm not going to deny that. But if we're going to keep the mindset of we don't need this guy because we got a lot of potential, then what do we need Wagner for if we got this young duo here with Malik Harrison and Patrick Queen? Those guys have a lot of potential. And in terms of the pass rushing unit, you've got a lot of potential with Odafe Owe. Why would you need to go get proven talent if you got all this potential? If that's the mindset you're going to keep for offense, hell, keep the same for defense. You got potential there. There's no reason to go get a proven guy. Just saying. It's always about, do you have the money or do you have the proper cap to get what you need for an offensive weapon? But when it comes to getting a defensive player, we tend to have the money, or we find a way to make it work. Just saying. That's always been the case. Watkins isn't coming back, right? I have no clue if he's coming back. I don't think he is. They have the money if they want to make offense the focus. Exactly. If they want to make offense the focus, they can make offense the focus. Difference is they're not looking to make the offense the focus. If anything, they'll probably try to make the offensive line their focus, but the weapons, nah. Now, fam, defense will always be king. You know that. Yeah, defense will always be king, but look at the era we're coming into. Do you not see the era of football we're in right now? Do you not see the state of the AFC? Look at the weapons just in the AFC West alone. I love defense to death, but when you got to compete with those type of weapons and you don't have anything else on your side, I don't know what you're doing. Like, take a look at, when you look at the Raiders and you look at the Chargers, what do they have on offense? They've got weapons, but when it comes to investing on their defense, what have they invested in? The secondary and the pass rush, specifically the pass rush. And in the Super Bowl, it shows. If you have a great pass rush and you can get to the quarterback, you will be effective. You don't have to have the best of best defenses out there in every single aspect. What you need is a great pass rush and a secondary that can hold up long enough for your pass rush to be able to make an impact. You don't need every spot to be great. You can have consistent guys as your linebackers. If you can have a great pass rush and a secondary that's strong enough or consistent enough to hold up for that pass rush to be effective, you're going to be fine. That's why you see other teams are able to invest in picking up weapons. They don't have a problem. They'll improve their pass rush and pick up weapons here and there. They'd never have an issue. But when it comes to the Ravens, it's like, let's always invest in our defense and free agency and then pick up potential guys offensively in the draft. And then when it even comes to picking up talent offensively in the draft, they're never as aggressive as you want them to be. They'll pick guys in the first round. But when's the last time you've seen them sacrifice draft picks to trade up and pick a guy that looks to be the next big thing? I mean, they weren't going to get a guy like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. But what if they tried to make that attempt to get that type of guy? Like receivers that you just know they've already presented themselves and are built to be this. They're not waiting for these guys to come down. They're being aggressive and trying to move up to get that guy because they believe that receiver is going to be a game changer. When's the last time the Ravens have done that? Like legit done that? Rashad Bateman fell to us. Great talent right there, but he fell to us. They didn't get aggressive and trade up because they believed he wasn't going to be there. Nah, he fell to us. There's a huge difference. He fell to us. Ravens aren't aggressive when it comes to offensive players, but they'll be aggressive when it comes to defensive players. And that's why some people definitely have problems. And I don't blame them for having those problems. Let me get an energy tank real quick. Ravens will never leverage the future for game changers, sadly. Well, that's fine with them. If they want to be a team that's competitive, that probably won't go over the top for the next couple years, by all means, do what you need to do. Listen, we weren't aggressive when Lamar was in his first 3 years. We're not going to be aggressive now. Now he's on the verge of getting a contract. When the dude was making like, $1 million, we weren't aggressive then. Doubt they're going to be aggressive now, so You know, that time might have already passed. They're not looking to be aggressive at this point. It is what it is. Ravens coaching staff being lazy on using the same damn philosophy when they treat receivers like they're bums. And with the AFC, it could come back to bite them in the butt. Oh, trust me, they could try. Let them try to run the same nonsense they were running last year and see how that works. I keep trying to tell people it's not always about talent. It's not always about talent, or it's not only about talent. It's about talent and coaching, especially in key moments. The Ravens are talented enough to go up against anybody in the league. But is the coaching there? When it comes to teams like the Bills, are we going to be able to match up coaching-wise? Especially offensively? Did you not see what Josh Allen and that offense was able to do? Josh Allen's not working with the best of receivers right now. That's one thing that hasn't been said. I could say this right now. Josh Allen's receiving core isn't as strong as you think it is. And some people will sit back and argue in terms of potential talent. Ravens have more potential talent with their receivers their receiving core as opposed to what the Bills have right now. But you look at how they're utilized in that offense, and you see a clear difference compared to how we utilize our receivers in our offense. Take a look at the Chiefs, and you see how they utilize their receivers. I can tell you right now, Tyreek Hill's gone, and that's definitely a huge impactful player that's gone, but the Chiefs will still be very effective with their guys because they know how to utilize their guys. I expect McCole Hartman to be utilized a lot more now than he was previously. And you might see Valdez-Scantling also step up in a huge role for the Chiefs as well. These offensive guys, these offensive coaches know how to utilize these guys in the pass game. Unfortunately, when you have a run-minded offensive coordinator, he just doesn't add up. He just doesn't add up. He doesn't stand up. He doesn't fit within the scheme of being able to do well in the passing game. And it's not like Greg Roman's some huge running guru. No, he has a system that's very effective in picking up lots of stats. And the thing about it is, this system only works if you have a quarterback that's very effective in the run game. If you have a statue quarterback, you're not doing a damn thing with Greg Roman's system. It's just not going to happen. So you watch this same system, and you just like, you look at the way coaching is for the Ravens, and then you look at the way coaching is for other teams, and you think, yeah, this team's just not going to add up. But they just refuse to wake up. They're going to die on this hill. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people believe it's possible that Lamar might leave. And if he leaves, brah, it's going to be the biggest shame in franchise history. You lose him because you're not willing to make the changes. Well, that'll be your fault, Ravens. You will have no one else to blame but yourself. Wide receivers ain't the problem. Wide receivers, I'm not saying the receivers are an issue, but it helps to have proven talent. Take a look at how the Super Bowl went. With the game on the line, who did they go to? I'm just saying, with the game on the line, who did Stafford go to? His proven talent in Cooper Kupp. Take a look at the Super Bowl last year and who Brady was throwing to. Those guys are all proven. I love my potential receivers. I believe they're going to be very great and effective. But with a game on the line and you need a guy to be able to step up and do what he's got to do, a guy that you can look at and be reliable, who's going to be that individual? Right now, the only person on the roster I could sit back and consistently say that go-to guy for Lamar in key situations is going to be Mark Andrews. And that's your tight end. So if you want it to just be a situation where it's only going to be Mark Andrews, by all means, take it. I mean, Kupp had Apple on him. I throw it there too. Yeah, I mean, first of all, it doesn't even matter who Cooper Kupp was guarding. Did you see how he performed in the postseason against anybody? It wasn't even just the Eli Apple situation. Anybody that faced off against him. You saw what he did against the Bucks. I mean, it wasn't just about having Eli Apple on him. You saw what he did against the Bucks. So, wow, why am I just running in the wrong direction? See, looking at the comment section makes it very difficult. Yeah, how did you kick out of that? Oh, God. I am so glad I went to get that energy tank beforehand because I'm getting wrecked. The Cardinals also, yeah, with the game on the line, who are they going to? Oh, DeAndre Hopkins. Look at how the playoffs went. Your main guy, DeAndre Hopkins, was not there. See how poorly the offense was. You got to have a go-to guy in key situations. Are you telling me our go-to guy is going to be Hollywood Brown? Is our go-to guy going to be Rashad Bateman when he hasn't fully proven himself yet? I believe it could be those go-to guys, but the problem is they haven't proven themselves yet. And again, another thing we're forgetting, another aspect that we're forgetting is proven talent's always going to get opportunities. I am getting creamed right now. Jesus. Beating the crap out of me. It's not supposed to be like this, but man. All right. But no, proven talent doesn't need the validation. Well, the proven talent already has the validation, so coaches know to trust them. Think about it. With the game on the line, take a look at that. I know he's already gone, but take a look at that situation with the game on the line with them down. It was the Chiefs versus Bills divisional round. 14 seconds left against the number one defense. Who did Mahomes go to? He went to Tyreek Hill. He went to Travis Kelce. Two elite, proven, talented guys in this game. You go to those proven guys. And those are probably plays that will call for either one of them to make those plays. Why? Because they've already got the trust. I love Rashad Bateman. I love Hollywood Brown. It's tough to say they've got the trust of our coaches to just straight up be like, yep, give him the ball, key situation, that's your go-to play, that's your go-to guy. The only person that gets that now, if you look at our offense, the only person that gets that now is Mark Andrews. But guess what? You can't just have one of those. And he developed into that, and that's great. So he's established himself now. So he is that established guy. But what happens when they double team him and you can't get the ball to him? Who else are you going to go to? You'd love to go to Rashad Bateman, but are they going to call plays for Bateman? A lot of things we talked about was getting him the ball. If he's a proven receiver, you don't really have to worry about trying to get him targets. A proven receiver is going to get that. He's going to get that. Like, if the game's on the line for at this point, like, watch next year, if the game's on the line for the Raiders, you're going to watch Derek Carr look for Devontae Adams. Like, that's not a debate right there. So proven talent definitely does matter. It matters. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. It's just a part of what matters. But at the same time, you need to have the coaching to match that. And I think that's where we get into another issue with the Ravens, and that's their whole coaching situation. What's the situation on Cardinals? Oh, wait, what? The situation on Cardinals was Kyler really let down his whole team that game. He did. He didn't play well. But at the same time, you don't think a security blanket and DeAndre Hopkins could have helped him in that game? Not saying they would have won, but trust me, they would have put up more than what they did if DeAndre Hopkins is in that game. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter if he's double-teamed. Kyler will throw him that ball while he's double-teamed, and he'll just make a play. Because he trusts in that guy. That's another thing. If you're a proven talent, you earn that trust. You gain that trust from both the quarterback and the coaches. With the game on the line, they'll throw it to you. Why do you think Lamar is so focused on throwing the ball to Mark Andrews with the game on the line? Because he's established himself. He's proven himself. With the game on the line, they're looking to go to Mark Andrews because they know he can get it done. He's already proven himself. Hollywood has not proven himself to be that guy consistently yet. Rashad Bateman has not proven that at all. That's why people want a proven receiver. They love Mark Andrews, but you got to have that receiver, man. You got to. You got to have that 1-2 punch. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's what I'll say. Anyway, it was more credit to their defense. That defense against the Cardinals. That defense the Rams put up against the Cardinals was fantastic, and they completely got to Kyler and just completely wrecked him that game. But I'm gonna end this here. Moving forward, I probably should start doing this a lot earlier because it's like 12 o'clock at night. So I don't know. If I'm gonna do this tomorrow, I'll try to do it earlier. I should probably set up a whole segment now where I am doing live streams, where I'm playing games and doing this. This is me doing this a couple times just to try and test this out for the most part. But I might start establishing this a lot more. We do it an hour a day. Just talk about Ravens or sports or whatever, and we'll see where it goes. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. This was just a little quick thing I wanted to do. Definitely have to finish this out. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens for the most part. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'm out of here, man.